today we have Talha's test in Crawley. Now he passed his driving test with just one driver fault. The examiner was really pleased with how the drive went and said it's a good drive and gave Talha some good praise on his decision making with his lane changing, for example. So I thought I'd do some commentary on how he goes with his test and show you why he made some good decisions. So here we go. So we're coming out of the test centre. Just of course making sure we keep it nice and slow here, because there could be these park vehicles could be moving, there could be pedestrians in the road. And you come out here, make sure you keep far to the left. It is a two-way road, don't sit in the middle. And then we're going to be taking the next road on the right towards the exit of the car park. So again, keeping far to the left in case a vehicle comes in. And we're going to exit through the left-hand gate. And at the end of the road, we're going to be turning left. And we're merging onto a 50-mile-an-hour road. So we need to be quite careful here to check for any traffic coming fast. But it looks good to go. As we can see from checking in the mirrors, there's nothing coming up fast behind us. It's a good decision to pull out there, Talha. Now at the roundabout coming up, we're going to be following the road ahead. So just take a quick look at the sign on the left here to make sure you understand how the roundabout works. Also on approach to the roundabout, look for speed limit changes. It's going to 30. We're keeping to the left lane as no signs say otherwise. You normally keep left lane for following the road ahead unless road signs or road markings say otherwise. Keep your focus. We've got another sign here for another roundabout. We're following the road ahead again. Now this one splits into 3 lanes. So check your mirror, start to slow, work out what lane you need. We want the middle lane. The left lane is left only. It's clear to the right. As we enter, keep tight to the outside lane. It's really quite sharp, that one. You have to really have a good controlled speed on approach. Look, another roundabout coming up. Speed limit changing to 50 as well. We're going towards Crawley here. The signs confirm that's the right lane. So across we go. You can see the signs for traffic lights there. And the lights appear to be changing. So checking our mirror and starting to slow. The reason we're checking our mirror there is to make sure there's anyone following us, they're going to be responding to our brake lights. If it didn't look like responding, we couldn't accelerate. That's the option people often think you have to do. But you can't accelerate if you're about to stop. That's going to make it more dangerous. You have to brake more harshly. If someone wasn't responding to your brake lights, you just brake a tiny bit harder to really try and say to them, come on, you need to slow down. We're slowing down here. Now, we're looking for Crawley. So check to the right. It's all good to the right. They're all stopped. Lights changing, but we're committed. Keep to the right lane as per the road signs. Road markings confirm that as well, keeping in this lane for Crawley. Lights coming up, they could change. So mirror, easing off the gas. Be ready to stop. Be ready to stop. Now it's committed. It's too late to go. I'm going to slow a bit here because there's traffic. And what lane do we need? The signs say it's left or middle. We're going to stay in the middle lane, as it's a bit hard to get to the left lane there with all the traffic queue, and there's a lot of live traffic on our left side. So good decision to keep in the middle lane here. If it was a bit quieter, it might have been okay and safe to go into the left lane there. We're now committed to the lights, so it's too late if they change. On the new road, got a new speed limit of national speed limit, 70 miles per hour. Now, of course, the right lane is dual carriageways for overtaking. And this is what Talha's doing here, so this is perfectly fine. Now his progress is impeded by the other driving school car in front of us. So we're a bit stuck halfway through an overtake here. But there's nothing Talha can do. Now the other driving school car's moved over, and we don't want to do another overtake. There's a 50-mile-an-hour speed limit coming up. So we're going to drop back to the left-hand lane. And there's the 50. It's a bit hard to see on the camera, but in real life it's a little bit easier to see. And also Talha knows the road a little bit there, so he knows it's changing to 50 soon. Now we've got a traffic light coming up soon. You can see people are braking. So mirror, just starting to ease off the gas and starting to slow. Is the light going to change? Be ready. Now we're committed to it. We've got a roundabout coming up. We're turning right. So when we see the signs, we're going to start planning to move lanes. It looks safe to go across, so across we go. So we're going to be turning right at the roundabout, the third exit. Mirrors and signal between the 3 and 200 yard markers, and then keeping in the right lane. On approach to the roundabout, looking for any speed limit changes. It's changing to national speed limit. So good distance here from the vehicles in front, giving plenty of space. Should the vehicle in front stall or break down, plenty of space to move around. And it also means Talha is able to keep the car rolling, which is more fuel efficient than stopping and starting frequently. It's looking like it's clear to go, so off we go. Keep to the inside lane, third exit. 1, 2. Now ease off the gas a little bit and start checking our mirrors. Is it safe to move off? Yes it is, so signal left and exiting the roundabout. New road, new speed, 30 miles per hour. So look as far ahead as we can to see what's happening. Vehicle in front appears to be braking, so mirror. See if the vehicle behind is going to respond to if we brake. Vehicle behind does appear to be responding, they're keeping a reasonable distance from us and they're slowing with us. Really good approach speed here from Talha. By approaching at this speed, like I say, it's both fuel efficient as you can potentially avoid unnecessary stops. It also is giving the vehicle behind more time to respond to our brake lights, reducing the risk of being hit from behind. Now, the lights could change again, but now we're committed. But don't get too excited, there's another light. Now we're committed to that one. But again, don't get too excited, we're still on a 30 mile an hour road. So keep checking that speedometer frequently. Just also got, of course, the bus lane on the left. So, of course, watching for any buses that might be coming along there. Just keeping on your left mirror. Also looking ahead. Maybe there's a bus stopped in the bus lane and they might pull out of the bus lane to turn right into a side road. Now some traffic lights ahead. So mirror. Are the lights going to be changing? Anticipate them. Be ready. Be ready. Are they going to change? Now we're committed. It's too late to stop now. But it's still a 30 mile an hour road, so keep checking that speedometer and stick to 30. Got a road sign on the left here, telling us about a junction coming up. I'm going to be turning right here in fact, so when we see the sign, that's normally when we start our mirrors signal manoeuvre. So mirrors, signal right, I'm going to be keeping near the centre line to go into the right hand lane. Checking mirrors again as we're slowing for the traffic in front. There's no one following us at the moment, so that's good. Again, really good approach speed here to try to keep the wheels rolling and save that fuel and keep it safe for the drivers behind. This is where Talha gets his driver full. Look at when the light changed to amber. I'm going to pause it here. We're still quite far away from the stop line and we're only doing about 15 miles an hour if you can see the speedometer. So at that distance and that speed, it's perfectly possible to stop at the stop line safely. Because remember, when the light goes amber, it means you must stop at the stop line unless you've already crossed the stop line, like we had a few moments ago on one of the roundabouts earlier, or to stop might cause an accident, i.e. if you had to brake too harsh and do an emergency stop. Back to the video. New road, new speed limit is 40 miles per hour, so checking middle and right mirror for anyone overtaking before we speed up. If there was someone overtaking, we wouldn't want to speed up, we might want to actually reduce our speed to let them overtake. Now the driving stall vehicle ahead appears to be pulling over, so middle mirror, right mirror, no signal needed, it's going to move round into the hatched area, which is perfectly legal if you need to go in that area. Now Talha has been asked to pull up on the left, so mirrors, signal left because there is a vehicle following us. Handbrake on and into neutral. The examiners are going to ask you to pull up on the left on some busier roads sometimes. This is to assess your ability to stop and start in flowing traffic. If they only ever got you to stop and start on quiet roads, it doesn't really test you that much. Hi guys, I thought I'd just show you this book to add to your collection. The new Drivers Handbook. It's a 3-in-1 book and it's got some pretty good reviews from a driving examiner and a driving instructor. It has over 800 practice theory test questions, common driving test faults, driving test general tips, and advice on dealing with nerves on the big day. Finally, it has tips for after you've passed your test, including vehicle maintenance and driving abroad. You can find a link to this book in the description below. Now, back to the video. Now the examiner's asked Talha to drive on when you're ready. So middle mirror, right blind spot, probably best to do a signal to on a busier road, and off we go. Important now we build our speed because we're on a 40-mile-an-hour road. We don't want to be just driving along casually here in case a driver appears behind us quickly. But Talha does this well and be able to speed quite well. Now we've got a roundabout coming up. Two of them in fact are very close to each other. We're going to be following the road ahead at the first one and then turning right. So, checking our mirrors, keeping to the left lane. There's no speed limit changes here. Scanning to the right. There is a bit of traffic coming, so we're going to slow a bit for them and try and time it so we don't have to fully stop, because like I say, that's driving fuel efficiently by doing that. So we're taking a second exit. There's the first one. Middle mirror, left signal. Next roundabout's coming up soon. So we're going to ease off the gas, let this silver van pass us, because we need to move to the right lane. Check our mirrors, signal right, tell this next van we want to come over. And he responded and let us go, so that's great of him. So we're going to be turning right at this next roundabout, or squareabout as it's often known, towards 3 bridges. Now we can cancel signal here, as it's more of a one-way system this than a roundabout. So a signal's not necessarily wrong, but it doesn't really benefit anyone here. It's just such a big thing, like a one-way system. The kind of the lane you're in tells everyone what you're doing. So we're checking to see if it's cleared to the go. Just be patient here. It can sometimes be a little bit busy here. And as we enter, we're looking to keep to the inside lane. As remember, it's a one-way system. You can tell that by the blue arrow. So we've got traffic lights here. It's checking mirrors and the lights on red. Just going to slow down gently, giving time for the vehicle behind to respond to our brakes. Lights changing in our favour. Middle mirror, left signal, because we need to go to this left lane here. If we stayed on the inside lane, we'd be going round the squareabout all day long. Now we're still on the 40-mile-an-hour road, as there's been no signs to change it from the last sign we saw, which was a 40. Now there should really be more repeater signs on the lampposts, as if you're driving on the road with street lighting or lampposts and there's no sign saying otherwise, you'd assume it's 30. If it's different, there should be regular repeater signs. Now we're coming into a slightly busier area, and we can see the speed limit changing to 30 miles per hour. We want to keep to the left lane here, as the right lane is for overtaking and turning right, and we're doing neither of those. In fact, we're going to be taking the second road on the left. So we've got the bus lane on the left here, and it ends. We can tell the bus lane's ending, as there is a solid white line initially, then that goes to a broken white line. The solid white line means a bus lane, and when it changes to a broken line, it means that bus lane is ended. So, middle mirror, left signal, and it's safe to move across. We know we can be in this lane at this moment, as the road markings confirm this lane goes straight and left. And remember, we're taking the second road on the left. If that arrow showed left only, we wouldn't want to get in this lane just yet, as this lane would only be for the first left, i.e. this road just here, but we're taking the second one. And now you'll see it changes to a left only arrow. So from now on you must take the next road on the left, which is the turn that we wanted to take. We're now entering a new road, so what do we look for? New speed limits. There's no signs here, so it must still be 30, but keep looking because it actually changes slightly further into the road to 40. Junction on the right, there's a bit of activity there, but no one looking to pull out in front of us. And if you look on the street lights here, the lampposts, this road's a bit better marked. It's got regular repeater signs confirming the speed limit of 40 miles per hour. See how many you can find by watching the video back. They are fairly frequent on this road. Now, we've got a roundabout coming up soon. At the roundabout, we're going to be turning left. So middle mirror, left signal, and reducing our speed to assess the roundabout. Slight glitch with the camera there, so sorry about that, but it looks safe to go now. New road, no speed limit changes. Still 40 miles per hour. Have a pedestrian crossing coming up, so mirror, assess the crossing. There's no one looking to cross, so lights are unlikely to change. Road signs confirm the late road split into 2 lanes. The examiner confirms to keep to the left lane. Now coming up soon we have a roundabout. At the roundabout we're following the road ahead and taking the second exit. So let's look for our road markings. This is a slightly busier roundabout, so there might be special things like a left only lane, but there's nothing here. So it doesn't say left only, it's not left only. The left lane carries on straight. So as we enter the roundabout, we want to keep to the left lane. So we're checking to our right, seeing if it's safe to go. Waiting patiently, as it is quite a busy roundabout. It's also a fairly fast moving roundabout, so when we pull out, we want to pull out fairly fast. So keep to the left lane, there's the first exit, mirrors and signal left to exit. Slow our speed here, it's quite tight, so you can keep tight to the left lane. Did you notice the speed limit changed there? It changed to national speed limit. We're just going to let this black car overtake us, so we're not going to accelerate just yet. Now we can start to accelerate a bit more. And we're looking to make some good progress here, as it's a nice clear road, no hazards ahead at the moment, and you can see really quite far. And Talha does this well and makes some good progress, getting to about 60 miles per hour. So the examiner would have been pleased with that. They want to see you drive like a driver, not like a learner who's not quite ready to have a full licence yet. Talha's certainly driving like someone who deserves to have a full licence. Now we have a roundabout coming up soon. We're going to be following the road ahead, second exit towards Brighton. The signs confirm it's left or middle lane. What lane should we use? Left lane. The middle lane is the overtaking lane for Brighton, and we're not looking to overtake anyone at the moment. So Talha does well here to keep to the left lane. As we approach the roundabout, we see a speed limit changing to 40. Are the lights going to change? Yes, but we're definitely committed there. We're pretty much on the line when it changed. Are the lights going to change? Yes, but that time we're a bit too fast to stop. So if we would have tried to stop, it could have caused an accident. Again, same there with that light. And did you notice the speed limit change? It now changed to 50, it was exited the roundabout. So the response to those traffic lights from Talha was perfect. It's different to earlier because this time we're a bit faster and sometimes a bit closer to the stop line, so it wouldn't have been safe to stop. Earlier on, we were further back from the stop line and also slower, meaning it would have been safe to stop earlier on. That's why Talha got his driver fault, but no faults for that. Perfect response to those traffic lights. At the roundabout, we're following the road ahead, second exit. Check the road markings. We want to be in the middle lane for following the road ahead. So checking our mirrors and reducing our speed to give us time to see if it's safe or not to go. Now this roundabout's quite a tight one. As we enter, we need to keep to the outside lane. It's very similar to the roundabout you saw earlier, just outside the test centre. We have to approach from the middle lane and then keep tight to the outside lane like this. Mirrors, signal left to exit. Now look for a new speed limit. There are none. There's actually a repeater sign there, so speed limit remains at 50 miles per hour. Keep into the left lane as we're not overtaking. Just keep checking our mirrors frequently in case someone tries to overtake us, such as this vehicle behind, as once they've overtaken, they might cut in front of us. So look as far ahead as we can. What hazards do we have? We have some traffic lights. So mirror, being ready to stop, anticipating it. Is it going to change? Now we're committed. And looking far ahead, we can see a road sign telling us about some traffic lights coming up. So when we see the signs, that's normally an indication to start taking action and start doing our mirror signal manoeuvre. So we're at the traffic lights turning right. So we've checked our mirrors, signalled right, and moved over into the right lane in good time. We then need to recheck our mirrors and re-signal to move again into the turning box for turning right. Checking our mirrors again as we're now slowing down for the traffic lights ahead as the lights for turning right are on red. Again, really good approach speed here from Talha, giving time for any vehicles behind to respond to his brake lights and being the economical driver. Lights have changed in our favour, so off we go. As we turn into the new road, we're going to look for new speed limits. Can't miss this one. If you do miss that one, then I'd maybe get your eyesight checking. So a humongous sign there confirming it's 30 miles per hour. Now, we've got a roundabout coming up. At the roundabout, we're going to be following the road ahead, a mini one in fact. So we're going to slow and check to our right. Looks like it's safe to go, so off we go. The examiner now asks Talha to pull up on the left in a safe place. So middle mirror, left mirror, there's a vehicle behind, so we'll signal left to them so we're pulling over. And we chose a good spot here as we're clear from any driveways and it's a nice safe bit of road to stop because it's nice and straight and clear. And also it's perfectly legal, there's no yellow lines that we're stopping on, for example. Thank you, says the examiner, please drive on when you're ready. So mirrors, checking into our blind spot, probably best to do a signal here because we're on quite a busy road, so situation could change quite quickly, and off we go. Remember, it's a 30-mile-an-hour road here, so don't get too excited just because the road's quite clear and open. Also be careful because it's a bit downhill there, so the hill could make you go too fast very easily. What's going to be around this corner? How do we know? Look at the road signs. There's traffic lights around the corner. So checking our mirror. The light's going to change. In fact, it's a pedestrian crossing. And there's no one looking to cross, so lights are unlikely to change, as they'll be changed when a pedestrian presses the button to cross the road. What's going to be over this hill? How do we know? Look at the road signs. The road signs tell us there's a roundabout coming up. There's a triangular sign warning us of that, you'll see just here. And at the roundabout, it's a mini roundabout. We're going to be turning left. So mirrors and signal left. Is anyone oncoming to give way to? No, it's good to go, so in we go. Got signs for a school there. So, but given the time of day this test was at, it's about 10 o'clock. Ignore the time on the dash camera, that's a bit wrong, I can't seem to fix that. But it's about 10 o'clock in the morning, so not too much risk of having school traffic at the moment at this time of day. Maybe at 8 or 9 o'clock though, but not at this time of day. And Talha now gets asked to pull up on the left in a safe place. So mirrors and signal as there is a vehicle to benefit here. Just a slight glitch in the camera again there, but there was a vehicle around. And in fact, he's been asked to pull up on the left, just a couple of car lengths from this black BMW. The examiner now asks Talha to drive forwards and stop next to the black vehicle, then reverse park, turns up reasonably close and parallel to the curb, trying to finish within 2 car lengths, i.e. a parallel park. And just as Talha's about to set off and do that, this black van we can see behind then stops just in front of him to drop off a passenger. So it's good there that Talha was checking and aware what was around him. Now once they've dropped off the passenger, off they go. So we're now going to redo our checks to see if it's still safe to go. So checking our mirrors and into our blind spot. And we're going to pull forwards and stop next to the black BMW. Wanting to stop about a metre away from them, certainly no more than that. So good position here from Talha, into reverse gear straight away to show the reverse lights. We're then going to check all round, let's do a full 6-point check, and when it's safe to, back up slowly. We're then steering in quite nicely here, steering towards the curb, towards the parking space. And we've got a decent angle here, so Talha then straightens the wheel here. We don't want to come in too tight with the parallel park, because it'll make it very, very difficult. And then when our back wheel's getting nearer the curb, Talha starts to steer away from the curb, which is about now by the looks of it. We're continuing our all-round observations while we're doing this, of course, though. So doing all those 6-point checks. Well spotted of the oncoming vehicle, and good idea to stop, just so not to cause many confusion or worry. We're just now going to go back a tiny bit more, just to tidy up our parking. Of course, keeping up those observations. Keep checking around, always being aware of what's around you. You're not the only one on the road, remember. And Talha looks like he's done now, so handbrake on and into neutral. Thank you, says the examiner. Now Talha gets a bit of a double whammy here. He's now going to be asked to do an emergency stop immediately after you did this parallel park. So, the examiner's saying to Talha, shortly I'm going to ask you to carry out an emergency stop. When I give this signal, raising his hand and say stop, I would like to stop the car as quickly and as safely as possible. Before I give my instruction, I will check it safe by checking my mirror and over my shoulder. But when I'm checking, please try not to anticipate I'm going to give the instruction because it might not be safe. Any questions, Talha? No, says Talha. He completely understands what he's been asked to do. Thank you. Please drive on when you're ready. So we're going to check our mirrors and our blind spot. Might be a good idea to signal here because our view ahead is a bit obstructed by the parked vehicle. And off we go. So it's want to be driving at normal speeds now. Not any faster, not any slower than normal, just normal speeds. Being ready to do the emergency stop when the examiner says so. So the examiner starts checking round to see if it's safe. Stop! Nice firm braking there from Talha, and then pressing the clutch down just before the car comes to a stop to prevent it from stalling. Handbrake on and into neutral. Thank you, says the examiner. Please drive on when you're ready. We're now going to be doing a full 6-point check and proceeding when it's safe to. Thanks for that. You'll be pleased to hear I won't ask you to do that again, jokes the examiner. And after the emergency stop, sometimes people get quite shaken up. If this does happen, you're well within your right just to ask the examiner if it's okay just to pull up on the left for a moment, just to take a quick deep breath and just to calm down. So, we're continuing down the road. It's a bit narrow here, so we slow our speed well just to let the van through. There's only one oncoming vehicle, the van, so there's no real point of squeezing away through there because it's fairly tight. If there was maybe 10 oncoming vehicles, we'd have to slowly proceed through. Otherwise, we could be sitting there for quite a long time. And there was just about room for 2, but only if everyone moved very, very slowly. Talha is now asked to pull up on the left one final time. So we've checked our mirrors. Probably a good idea to do a signal as there is a black vehicle coming up behind us. And we park a good distance from the curb in a nice position. Handbrake on and into neutral. Thank you, says the examiner. Please drive on when you're ready. We're going to let this white van pass us. It's now looking clear to go. So a final check of our mirrors, checking into our blind spot, and off we go. We're going to signal right because there is this oncoming vehicle pulling out from the side road who wants to know we're pulling away. Now we have a traffic light coming up soon, and at this traffic light the examiner is not going to tell us where to go because if we see by the signs you have to turn left here. But what the examiner is going to say, when we reach the roundabout, just so you know, we're going to be turning right. Now he's not talking about this traffic light because he's not going to mention this light as we just mentioned. He's talking about the roundabout round the corner. We can see the sign for it here on the left hand side. So because we're going to be turning right at that roundabout, when we approach from these traffic lights, we want to go directly into the right lane. So we're ready to turn right at the roundabout. If we went into the left lane, there's not going to be time to switch lanes. So we're going to check right to make sure it's safe and then go directly into the right lane, just like this. Ready to turn right at the roundabout, the third exit. So middle mirror, right signal, keeping to the right lane. New road, new speed limit, 50 miles per hour. We're now checking to the right to see if it's safe to go. And it's good to go straight away. So third exit. So 1, 2, middle mirror, left signal. See if it's safe to move to the left lane. It looks like it is. No speed limit changes on the new road and the crossing is clear. Just going to let this van overtake us. So we're not going to speed up too much. We don't want to be a competition as we drive down the road. And the speed limit is now changing to national speed limit. So recheck those mirrors. No one overtaking us this time. So it's safe to increase speed a bit more briskly now. And looking far ahead, we can see a road sign, a white information board. So that's for a roundabout. So at the roundabout, we're following the road ahead and taking the second exit. So checking our mirrors. There's no left only markings. So if it doesn't say left only, it's not left only. So we can stay in this lane for following the road ahead. Checking to the right, there's a bit of traffic coming. So we're going to slow early to try to let them all pass and try to keep the car moving as possible to save that fuel. It's quite a tight lane here, but Talha keeps in the lane well, and we're doing the second exit. So there's the first. So mirrors, signal left. As we enter the new road, notice the 50 mile an hour speed limit sign. Also notice the signs warning us of traffic lights coming up soon. So expect to maybe be a traffic queue coming up on this faster moving road. But if we look as far as we can, doesn't appear to be any traffic queuing up. So here are the lights, so mirrors. Just going to ease off a little bit just in case the light changes. Be ready for that light to change. Be ready. Now we're committed. If that light changes, it's too late. Now speed limit is national speed limit. And Talha decides to overtake the other driving school vehicle, who appears to be on their test as well. And this is good, as Talha is showing again he's driving like a driver, not like a learner who's not too sure, making nice confident decisions. And once we've overtaken the learner vehicle, we've got to decide what to do with this next white vehicle. Now we are gaining on it a little bit, but then the problem is there's a roundabout coming up soon. So we've got to judge if we can get past it in time. And it looks like it's just about going to be manageable. So once we pass this white vehicle, we can see the signs for the roundabout. So we want to move back to the left lane, just like that. Well done, Talha, because at the roundabout, we're going towards Pease Pottage. The road signs tell us where to position. It's the left lane. Speed limit is now changing to 50 miles per hour. But a really nice overtake there from Talha. The examiner would have been pleased with that. Again, really good approach speed to the situation here, really nice and smooth. Again, examiner will be very pleased with that. Nice smooth drive, but making progress when it's safe to. So we've got the lights coming up. So they're on green, so we should assume they're going to stay green. No, we should anticipate they're going to change, just like this. A lot of people do make the mistake of assuming just because the light's on green, they can just go, go, go. And then when the light changes, they get completely surprised and shocked. But if the light's on green, there's only one thing that's going to happen. It's going to change at some point. So you need to always be ready for that. So, when the light's on red here, don't just sit here and fall asleep. Focus and anticipate the light changing. When the traffic on the right stops coming, your light will probably change like this. We're going to check to the right. There's no one jumping the lights. I'm going to keep in the left lane as per the road signs. We're looking for Pease Pottage services. Some more lights ahead, and they appear to be on red, so Talha's slowing his speed early, so then hopefully by the time he gets to the light, it changes in his favour and he doesn't need to stop. So we're taking the next exit, so middle mirror, left signal, and keep into the left lane as we're not overtaking anyone. Now we don't want to build our speed too much here, as we can see by the signs there's another roundabout coming up. And at the roundabout we're following the road ahead. And this one's that really tight one near the test centre. So we're going to reduce our speed. We need to keep to the middle lane as the left lane's left only. Speed limit is now 30. Now keeping to the outside lane and controlling our speed to stay within the lines. It's really quite tight. Middle mirror and left mirror as we pass the first exit. Easing off the gas as we exit as there's lanes merging here. So middle mirror, right mirror looking for anyone overtaking. And there's a third roundabout coming up. We're going to be following the road ahead. So mirror, reducing our speed. The left lane's not marked as left only, so it carries on straight. It's good to go, so off we go. Keeping to the outside lane, mirrors and signal to exit, and we're off the roundabout. New road, new speed limit, 50 miles per hour. That's almost all the junctions done, just one last turn to do, Talha. We're taking the next road on the right back into the test centre. So mirrors and signal right. Being very aware of oncoming traffic, as it's a 50-mile-an-hour road, so they could be coming at quite a high speed. So it looks safe to turn in. And coming in nice and slowly, now start braking and reducing our speed here. As there could be traffic round the corners, there could also be pedestrians in the road. Maybe there's someone's just passed their test and they're jumping up and down the middle of the road with their pass certificate. You don't want to ruin their day. And now the examiner asks Talha to drive forwards into just a bay on the right. So Talha slows well and then turns nicely into the bay. Now if Talha didn't get this bay part quite perfect, it's not a major issue. Talha's already done his manoeuvre, so they're not actually assessing this forwards park as Talha did his parallel park earlier. Secure the car please, says the examiner, and switch the engine off and just relax for a moment. Give me a few minutes while I complete the paperwork. That's the end of the test. I'm pleased to tell you you've passed.